So, as I said, I don't particularly like the vocabulary that Canvas uses at times. This is an example. I don't agree with mastery. I believe that this should actually be used for proficiency. And that's really the only time that I've noticed that these points that I've chosen are important. So, for example, I recognize that 3 is where I'm establishing proficiency, and anything below 3 is not proficiency. There are 4 ways that you can calculate proficiency. I'm not going to take the time to explain decaying average. You can read about it right there. I would argue strongly against using highest score because if a student, one time has a very high score, that doesn't indicate that they've learned the material. That indicates that they did well on a an assessment or that they studied it. It doesn't show that they've actually learned. Same thing for n number of times. If I assess math or uh, I can question scientifically. If I assess this 10 times and then require the students to show proficiency 3 times, to me, that's not enough. So I'm using most recent score, although I have reservations about this. And I'm working with the district to see if there's a way that we can add the one that I would prefer, but we can talk about that more outside of the video if you'd like to. So that's it for creating a learning target or creating an outcome. Key parts would be I start it, I name it, I explain it. Here's my proficiency scale, and where is proficiency, and how are you assessing proficiency? Now, once you have created your outcomes, you're going to want to know kind of what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to slide over to grades. And this is what your typical grade books. You've got students, you've got the assignments, and their scores, but we're not looking for a typical grade book. So I'm going to go to the Learning Mastery grade book here. And this is what our grade book will look like at the end. Students, rather than having assignments, they will have each of these learning targets. And all of these boxes will be filled with these beautiful colors. And I can turn these on and off so that you can and can't see them. And if I have assessed Justify twice, then only the most recent score shows up in this box. There is a way that we as teachers and the students can see how they've done collectively, but the focus is on the most recent because that's where learning is take place. If I did it early, if a student demonstrates early that they understood, then they can continue to demonstrate. So this is kind of what it looks like individually, and I'll show you what it looks like for the students a little bit later and a little bit of functionality. Okay, so what I'm going to do now in between videos, because this video is about to end, I am going to create a little assignment. In fact, let's just go ahead and end the video now.